Long time ago, in the ancient kingdom of Ujiji, there lived a great king, named Biteo, who had two royal wives, Queen Karima and Queen Mumbai. Both women were loved by the king, and it was said that his lineage would bring forth a ruler whose reign would be legendary. One fateful day, both queens went into labor almost simultaneously. Queen Karima, the first wife, gave birth first to a son, but something strange happened. Her child, though healthy, did not cry immediately as newborns usually did. The royal midwives waited in anxious silence, unsure of what this meant. Moments later, Queen Mumbai also gave birth to a son, and his first breath came with a strong, hearty cry that echoed through the halls of the palace. The kingdom's elders and advisors, bound by an ancient tradition, declared that the child who cried first would be named the true firstborn and rightful heir to the throne. Despite the fact that Queen Karima's son was born moments earlier, it was Queen Mumbai's child who was proclaimed the crown prince. He was named Mumbai, the future king of Ujiji. Queen Karima's son, though only slightly younger, was called Mzito. From that day, he was regarded as the second son, robbed of the title that was his by birthright. Growing up, Mzito was different from his brother. While Mumbai was groomed in the art of ruling, diplomacy, and strategy, Mzito grew distant from palace life. He was strong, far stronger than any child his age, but was seen as slow-witted. He spoke little, and the court whispered that he had the strength of a lion, but the mind of an ox. As years passed, Wamba grew into a wise and beloved prince, while Mzito, filled with frustration and confusion over his stolen birthright, turned to the forests. He spent his days in the wilderness, away from the prying eyes of the palace. His body continued to grow, becoming taller and mightier than any man in the kingdom. Soon, the villagers began to tell stories of Mzito, the giant, who was so powerful that he could uproot palm trees with his bare hands and sweep entire clearings with them like brooms. Though he was feared for his strength, Mzito was not cruel. He protected the villagers from wild beasts and bandits, but his intelligence was questioned. People said he was all muscle and no mind, a man born to fight, but not to lead. Meanwhile, Wamba ruled the kingdom after the death of their father. He was a just king, beloved by his people, but he always felt a strange unease regarding his brother, the giant who roamed the forests. Despite being crowned the rightful king, Wamba could not escape the shadow of the brother who should have been king by birth. One day, a great threat descended upon the kingdom. A neighboring empire sought to invade Ujiji, and their armies were vast. King Wamba, though a wise ruler, was untested in battle. As the enemies marched toward the capital, it became clear that Ujiji was on the brink of defeat. In desperation, Wamba sent for his brother Mzito, the giant of the forests. Though Mzito had been cast aside all his life, he still held love for his homeland. When the king's messengers found him, he agreed to help. Mzito strode into battle with his mighty palm trees, sweeping away the enemy forces like dust before a broom. His strength was unmatched, and the invaders fled in terror at the sight of the giant who seemed more myth than man. Mzito's bravery saved the kingdom, and for the first time, his people looked at him with admiration rather than fear. But despite his heroism, he did not seek the throne or crave power. His mind was simple, but his heart was noble. In the end, Wamba continued his reign as king, but he honored his brother with a new title, the protector of Ujiji. Though Mzito would never wear the crown, his strength and courage were recognized by all. He returned to the forest, content to live in the wild, knowing that while he was robbed of his birthright, he had earned something far greater, the love and respect of the people. And so, the tale of the Silent Prince and the palm tree giant became legend, a reminder that true power does not always lie in the throne, but in the strength of one's heart. Moral lesson of the story: strength and wisdom take many forms. Even when wronged, one can still find their place in the world, and respect can be earned through deeds, not titles. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more educative stories.